up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Just Ball Out podcast. This is episode 8 with Jusnix J Redd. Another week of basketball, man. Last week was exciting. We've seen a lot of good basketball, especially that Detroit basketball. How you feel about that, J Redd? Them boys 5-2. First in the Eastern Conference. They on a 3-game winning streak. A great one at that. We talking about Minnesota, the Clippers, and the champs, man, the Warriors, man. So they looking real good. I mean, Tobias Harrison stepped up. He's averaging 20 points per game. That's the highest average he's had in his career. The starters are playing well. The only thing I have concern about is the bench, man. We last in points. We averaging about 26 points per game on our bench. That's a concern, man. But I like how Stan is really pushing them dudes to play defense, man. The last 2 years we've been top 10 in points given up. So I mean that's a good sign. What you think about that?
I think Stan is a very underrated coach. I think that I think that people know he's not a bad coach, but he also doesn't get the praise that he deserves, with how he runs his system and everything. I mean, you got to think people was talking about having the Pistons tank, and now they out here playing. I know it's still early, but they playing good basketball. You know what I mean? To hand the Clippers their first loss, I thought was a big deal.
But then it come back.
Right.
Next night, that's back-to-back.
Back-to-back on the road. Both games on the road, too.
Both games on the road. That's
big.
And,
I think that's really big. The Warriors, if you look, though, the Pistons really always play the Warriors tough, though. They beat them last year. Yeah, I mean, they always, I don't know what it is about that.
It was no KD, though. But.
Yeah, but I mean, they won 13 straight without KD, too. So, you know what I mean? We can't hold that.
You got it.
I think I don't know what it is about that matchup. I think they do really play the Warriors very well.
I think
it's early. Yeah, it's early. I'm not gonna overreact to it, but I definitely think that the Pistons and Stan, they got these lineups. Their pieces are really meshing well together more this year than in the past. I think Avery Bradley is doing a very good job with his perimeter defense. And Tobias, man, let me not forget that. I think Tobias Harris, he was in the gym over the off season. He in his bag right now, man. I mean, he's scoring it in all phases of the game, free throws, jump shots. He's getting to the rim. Tobias is looking really, really good.
I think he one of those guys that playing 1 year in University of Tennessee, I think it was always a lot of potential with him. I mean, he's a 6'8", versatile guy. I mean, anytime you can have a 6'8", 6'9" guy be able to run the floor, play multiple positions, that's always a huge upside. But when it actually comes out and they actually putting it together on the defensive end, it's a match made in heaven. And then, I mean, a lot of people forget that Stan had 2 finals appearances. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Or I might be wrong. Did he make it to the finals with D-Wade, or was that Pat?
What
when D-Wade and Shaq won it?
Oh no, I think that was Riley.
Was that Pat? That was Pat?
I'm pretty sure that was Riley.
Okay. Well, I mean, even when Pat stepped down, man, Stan, he definitely made it with Dwight Howard. I mean, that team wasn't the best team in the world. So, I mean, I think a lot of his play starts with defense, and he's done a great job with, assembling guys together to make put them. I think a lot of times we get off track with a lot of these teams when saying that, when these GMs pick up guys, it's more than just talent. It's personnel. It's a lot of different things. A lot of different things you gotta look into when building a team.
I also think that Stan finally, got Tobias and his stretch four role that he loves. You know, Stan loves the stretch four.
Yeah.
The playmaker, you know, the big playmaker. Right. You know, you got to think in Orlando's run, they had the 4 out, 1 in where Dwight just had monster numbers, you know, being the one big in the middle, and he's surrounded with the shooters, Rashad Lewis, Hito. You know, they had a good thing going over there. I think he's kind of recreating that with Drummond in the middle, the 4 out, 1 in, Tobias. He got John Lure. You know, he got his stretch fours that can shoot from the perimeter, leaving his 4 out, 1 in with Drummond in the middle. And the pick and roll with Reggie and Drummond is looking like twice as nice as it's ever looked.
Yeah, I think Reggie
is working well together.
Yeah, I think Reggie has I think the problem with Reggie is Reggie has always thought so highly of himself.
right.
He's finally starting to humble himself and just play basketball, man. Like, it's nothing to prove. Just go out there and have fun, man, and play the game. I mean, I feel like that's what we starting to do. There's no pressure. You know, I think a lot
Reggie
of years. I think a lot of years, man, we put the pressure on ourselves as far as after, you know, not being in the playoffs for so long, and then finally making it to the playoffs, and then we showing potential, and then people thinking that it's time. It's time. I think they're gonna be a good team, but I think us coming in as being the underdogs has given us an advantage. So I think that's why we're playing so well right now.
Yeah, I think they've set their egos aside for the most part. You could tell in years past where, like, you know, maybe Reggie thought he should be getting more shots, or, you know, Stanley thought that, you know, Van Gundy wasn't really playing him as much as he should have been playing, or, you know, that type of thing. I think that Reggie is doing a really good job of not over dribbling on his pick and roll. I used to I used to hate when he did
get the yo-yo on that boy for too long.
Man, you know, 22 of the 24 seconds, he out there putting it through his legs and doing all that type of stuff. Like, come on, man.
Mixy.
Yeah, you know, it's a little razzle dazzle.
Mixy.
But no, I think they playing really good basketball, man. I'm like I said, I'm not gonna overreact to it. I'm not gonna, you know, just automatically think they, you know, contenders yet or anything. But I do think that they're playing very good basketball. Hopefully, Little C's Arena can start to fill up a little bit, man. It been look a little empty, which is sad, but you know.
I mean, you know how Detroit is, man. You know, we gotta catch a wave before we, you know. That's even with this podcast, y'all. I'm gonna need y'all to tune in.
Right.
I ain't even gonna go in, y'all, man. I'm gonna let y'all live, but when it's time, just come on in, man. It's all right. We gonna still be here. We gonna still be here. So don't worry. We gonna
welcome you with open arms. You know.
Shout out to the Pistons, man. They playing very well, man. The last 2 games they were down by 14 in the third quarter versus the Warriors, and they were still able to pull it out. So good job, Pistons, man. Detroit basketball.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. The champs and the runner-ups, a little bit of struggling going on there on the West Coast and over there in the Midwest, man. Warriors currently 4-3 start, and the Cavs, man, 3-4 start. I don't really know what's going on too much. I mean, we talking about a negative 2.6 point differential for the Cavs, man. That's probably like one of their worst starts in the last 3-4 years. And I mean, the Warriors, man. I know they the best team in the world, but everybody's coming with their A game with them every night. I mean, I know that's pretty ordinary for any defending champ, but they barely getting it done. But I know your whole theory on the Warriors, because listen, folks, his whole theory with the Warriors they are a bunch of arrogant superstars, which I think, man, my man Steph is a great guy, bro. He's just a great guy.
I do think Steph is a great guy. I've never taken that away from Steph. But do I think he extremely arrogant? Yeah, he got the right to be too. You know what I mean? But I do think that he is, and I think it's starting to the thing about me being such a LeBron fan and watching him do this for years in a row consecutively is you gonna run after you go to the finals 3-4 times, you know, and they gonna run into that complacency. They know that they're good. They know they have Steph and Clay and Durant and Draymond. And you could see it, like, even with Draymond, sometimes in the media, you know, you see these quotes talk about these people, they know they don't stand a chance against us. Like, I think that they, you know, don't get me wrong, I enjoy seeing the Warriors being challenged. But I do think that to get back to Golden State Warrior basketball that they have been known for the last couple years, I think they need to kind of maybe humble themselves a little bit, get back to really the basics, get their defensive rotations down, get their chemistry a little bit better on offense. You know, it's not like I don't know. I just feel like they not stopping people how they once were stopping people. But they show flashes. It's not like they can't do it. You know what I mean? I think they just a little complacent and they trying to rely and they almost taking for granted that they just going to win the West and get back. And which they are probably going to. But I just think they need to kind of get back to refocus themselves. You know what I mean? They still on a high a little bit. It's still early. I'm definitely not going, you know, it's definitely still early. But I just think they need to kind of do that because I've seen teams, you know, even when the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq was doing it, they got to get back to, you know, you ride that championship high for a little bit and then you get punched in the face a couple times early. Then it's a reality check. Then you get back to going to practice, playing harder. Then you get back to playing good basketball. You know what I mean? That happens. It's a cycle. So I think that's what they're going through right now.
Yeah, I think they on a super high.
Yeah.
Right now.
I mean Durant pointing to his ring finger to fans.
Bro, he breakdancing before games.
Steph throwing his mouthpiece at everybody and everything in the world.
He dressing up like Saw riding into the arena.
I thought that was really good.
Like, you ain't never seen Michael Jordan do that, bro. That let you know.
I thought Steph's Saw costume was hilarious, though.
Yeah, no. Let's not take it away from the costume, man. The costume
right,
was awesome, bro.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. I definitely.
But you get what I'm saying. Just the whole vibe is just like the boys having a great time, right?
They relaxed, you know. They like, listen, man.
The boys having a great jolly time, man. But I'm not really worried because long as my dude Draymond still on tip, man, I'm never gonna worry about the Warriors, bro, because he is the heart and he is the energy. So I'm never gonna worry.
Yeah. I got something to say about that too, but that's for another day, man. Another day, another topic.
Right. I mean, they've lost to some pretty good teams, except, you know, we still got that Detroit loss. You know, we got to see what Detroit is going to be, but you know, losing to Memphis and Houston, man, I'm not really surprised. I mean, Memphis is a really good team. When you watch them play, they honestly just like their whole game plan of the original grit and grind way how they play, it's intensified. Like it's I just feel like they got a lot of athletic fours, athletic threes. Mike Conley is an underrated point guard.
Love Conley's game, man.
I mean, Marc Gasol is looking nuts out there, man.
He's
every time I
hooping this year, man.
Oh, he is hooping. I seen him do some athletic stuff the other day, and I was just like, bro.
He's starting his year off on a tear right now.
But give a shout out to David Fizdale, man.
Love Coach Fizz, man. He was part of the Heat. He was part of the Heat staff. You know I'm a Coach Fizz fan, man.
Shout out to Fizz, man. He doing a real awesome job over there, man, with those guys. But let's talk about them Cavs, man. 3-4.
Yeah.
3-4, man. Fifth lineup change that they didn't had, especially after losing that game against the Knicks, where Derrick Rose came back after missing his last 3 games of an ankle injury. I mean, I'm just concerned. Only thing I'm concerned about with them is that this is my concern with them. I'm not concerned about them losing right now. I'm more concerned about when is Isaiah Thomas going to come back and what is the actual team? You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can't really judge them until you get Isaiah Thomas back, because that is their real team. I mean, you had a swap. You swap Kyrie Irving out for Isaiah Thomas. So you got to see what exactly he's going to be able to bring, you know what I'm saying, and really judge them as a team. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's too early to judge them right now. Like, you seen Brian the other day comment. He said, what month is it? It's October. not really tripping right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, Brian, chill though. You know, I love you to death, baby.
Though,
come on, Brian. I mean, you the smartest man in the game. You see, we not playing the best basketball right now.
Right.
Yeah, my thoughts on Cleveland, man. And you know, me being such a Cleveland fan, even off the air, you know, I get a lot of text messages and people talking stuff to me when they lose. And they have some bad losses on their record. They got Brooklyn and Orlando and the Knicks, who just won their first game not too long ago. You know what I mean? So they have some bad losses. So what I will say is, you right. I'm not necessarily worried. I think that they're kind of going through the Cavs tend to start off slow for some reason. LeBron James teams tend to do this early. I think another thing that's bothering me right now, and I know it's still early, but Tyronn Lue has not figured out a way to use Jay Crowder. And I love Jay Crowder, and I love that addition. And he's played him at different positions. He got to play the bench now.
He got to play the most minutes.
He moved him to the bench now and everything, and he's not found a way to use him. And Jay is not really, you know.
He don't look like he happy.
I don't think he's unhappy. I don't think he's unhappy being in Cleveland. I think he's unhappy with his play right now and how he hasn't been able to find a rhythm, which is, you know, Tyronn Lue has some accountability on that, bumping him around, moving him through different lineups, different rotations.
I mean,
think he just needs to find a rhythm.
It made sense why he had to put him on the bench, though. I mean, Kevin Love said he was getting, like, from reports, you know, they were saying Kevin Love was getting a little tired, you know, from playing the 5.
Oh, absolutely. Chris Bosh went through the same thing in Miami, too. Banging bodies, got to do all the dirty work.
And try to come back and score on the next possession, which is tough.
Same thing Bosh went through. So I definitely, even when they said they was moving Love to the 5, I was like, I want to see how long this is going to last. You know what I mean? Because not only is he's a great rebounder, but he's super little. He's not a rim protector.
And this ain't,
you know what I mean?
This ain't like 08, 09 Kevin Love where he was beefy. No
right,
homes,
you know, he been losing weight every offseason, basically. You know what I'm saying? And he's not, you know, he still don't check great, and he's not a rim protector. So it's like,
so it's kind of, he undersized to a certain extent. I mean, he's 6'10", he's 6'10", but his length ain't all the way there. You know, he ain't got the craziest length. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Kevin Love is a great rebounder, but he's a great rebounder because he does it by the mechanics. He's not doing it through athleticism. He's doing it through boxing out and, you know, doing the whole.
It's a lot of effort.
It's a lot of effort and fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? Which I think a lot of kids need to start. Well, we need to start paying attention to and everything. He's playing good. He plays great basketball, but.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Cleveland, I think what I just said about Golden State, I think it kind of, you know, applies to a certain extent to Cleveland as well. LeBron, you know, him going to 6, 7 straight, he like, man,
he
coasting. You could tell a little bit too.
So that's my question, J Redd.
He's trying to stay fresh for the playoffs, that type of thing.
Warriors, panic or no panic?
No panic.
Cavaliers, panic or no panic?
I'm not panicking either one because the East is so bad, and 2, LeBron normally does start slow. But I do think that more Cavs than the Warriors. I think that they should start to gain a sense of urgency. I know it's not even 10 games into the season. I'm not saying they need
panic
to play,
or no panic.
No panic. No, I'm not panicking at all. It's still gonna be. It's gonna be part 4 or 5. What is it? Part 4 of Golden State Cavs.
Yeah.
In the finals, I think it's gonna be part 4.
Most definitely. So I agree.
So I think no panic for neither one of them.
All the way through, man. Hey, y'all, Cavs, chill on the Cavs, bro. And Isaiah Thomas get back, and then we can start judging them, man. We talking about LeBron James here, man. Give that man his respect. Give that man his respect.
I like to hear you give Brian his
I
respect,
I
right?
got
I
to,
don't
man.
get it from
I
you
just
a
feel
lot.
like, you know, man, what dude is in his 15th year in the league, man. Like, I ain't got nothing to say about that, man. Keep doing it.
Brian.
Keep doing it for the culture, Brian. Let's bring us to our next topic, man. As we was talking about, as we talking about the Cavs and the Warriors or whatever, it's been a lot of surprises in these wins this year. And this is my question: is there a positive to not having a super team? Because you got Detroit beating the Warriors, you got Orlando beating the Spurs, you got Cleveland losing to the Nets, the Knicks. I mean, I think last year we didn't see a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Like this season, early in the season, I just feel like it's been good basketball. And I'm happy about that because I was worried these last couple of years because I'm like, I was going to put it all on KD. Like, man, he just messed up the league. He made it unbalanced. Can't nobody win now. And I feel like the Warriors kind of, this is my analogy. I know everybody won't agree to this, but my thing is I feel like everybody is following the Warriors format as far as playing style.
Small ball,
bunch of threes. But the positive to that is back in the day you would have, your Patrick Ewings, your Olajuwons, your David Robinsons. You had these big guys crowding the middle where, like, let's get it down to them and everybody stand and spot. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like in today's game is way more cut and moving. It's almost like some of these shooting guards that's not superstars, you can't exist in this league unless you learn how to score without having the ball in your hand.
Right.
So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards I'm liking it right now. J Redd?
Yeah, I know they had Michael Jordan spoke out earlier saying he hates the super team era because it's going to be six good teams and then everybody else going to suck. I don't think that everybody else sucks. I think that with this super team era, I do think obviously the chances are skewed towards the super team. I think just the natural raw talent that they possess, they're more talented, with the superstars. But I also think it gives a chance for the world to see these other guys and, these other guys' situations. I think, let's take a guy like Victor Oladipo for a change. You know what I mean? He was looking very pedestrian in OKC last year. Russ usage was so high, so off the charts. Victor Oladipo was turned into a spot-up shooter specialist. That's not his game. Now he's in Indiana.
Great point.
You know what I mean? He's in Indiana. He's averaging 25 and a half on 50% shooting, 47, 48 from the three, and 88 and a half from the line. Like, he's killing it right now. But you could just see that, him being in a different situation, he's utilizing everything he can have, all he has to offer. He's, kind of reaching what his potential is instead of just being a spot up shooter. So I think, I said all that to say, the world gets a chance to see these other teams mesh together, and these teams, these players have to kind of grow up fast, and you got to give your all, and you got to really reach down in your bag and in your basketball repertoire, and you have to play as good as you can together because you have those teams like the Warriors and OKC and the Cavs in your way, because you know what I mean? So I think it's a positive for the league. I don't think the super team era is messing the league up at all. I think that these other teams can turn into super teams by these players developing and coming into their own and becoming, the stars that they want to become.
I agree, man. You know, all of these NBA players have once in a point of time in their career has been the man. You know, they practice all summer. You know, shout out to a lot of these trainers who putting in the hard work and dedication into, you know, advancing the game and making these guys more versatile with their moves and everything. And I feel like, man, these guys, man, they pros. You know, don't discredit them as athletes and be like they can't play ball. You know, I just think a lot of these guys get put in a position where they have to play a role, and that's what they're stuck in. And, you know, like you said, you got a Victor Oladipo who's showing that he can play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? After, you know, being, you know, having the shadow of Russell Westbrook all season. And, you know, playing a style that he's not accustomed to. So, I agree with you, J Redd, but that's why I had to bring up this point, because I feel like I watch a bunch of podcasts. I watch a bunch of shows on ESPN, on different networks, and nobody has never asked this question. You know, like, are we really watching the game? And seeing that, like, it's some good ball being played, you know? You got a good Boston team that's playing well. You know, they forcing Kyrie Irving to play some defense. I seen Kyrie Irving sit down in one possession where he was sitting down, blocked the shot and everything. You know, so, I mean,
force him to distribute too. He's had a couple 10 assist games that he wasn't doing that in Cleveland. You know what I mean?
He played, man. Then I watched him. I know I watched him in the Milwaukee game, and I was like, man, I ain't never seen him play like this before. But then I see him come back, and I see him play against Miami on Saturday, and I was impressed again. I was super impressed because, I mean, he played against another great overall team, where you got a bunch of different guards, versatile guards, from, you know, Dragic to Josh Richardson, the Waiters, Tyler Johnson. I mean, that's a nice collection of guards, of put together guards. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
He was able to
no huge name in that, and they still nice. You know what I mean?
Names, and they still nice.
Right.
You know, you got a bunch of teams. You go over to Orlando, and you got a point guard like Payton. You got a scoring guard like Fournier. You got
who's been on a tear.
You got two aggressive guards in Jonathan Simmons and Terrence Ross. Like, I mean, those are developing players that eventually
really, like Simmons and Ross can. He's streaky. He can heat it up.
Aaron Gordon, he had 41 points the other night.
Oh, I think Aaron Gordon might win Most Improved. I know I gave my prediction differently, but he is killing it right now.
Yeah, I mean,
if he keep that up, man. He's.
It's a lot of players you got to watch, man. I think that, like, that Most Improved player that we did, we shouldn't have had the extended version. You know what I'm saying? For episode 7, we shouldn't have had the extended version because so many of these guys are playing well. I know it's very early. I'm gonna have to continue to watch, but I like the fact that it's like that because you're gonna get these guys playing hard every night, and that's what I like. That's what I care about more than anything. Is, can I see a quality game where, like, I know the average fan is not gonna like because Kevin Durant's not out there, LeBron James is not out there, but we're seeing good basketball, and that's what I.
Yeah, I agree. The quality of the product that the NBA is putting out right now is a good quality product.
For sure.
I think that they're, you know, I think everybody's competing. You know, you expect the Warriors to win every single game, and they already got 3 losses. It's not even 10 games into the season. You know what I mean? Just 2 years ago, they only lost 9 times the whole season. You know what I mean? So I think everybody's competing, and which is good to see. Even though, you know, everybody has their favorite team and they always want them to win. I think the fact that, you know, everybody's playing hard, everybody's competing, and on any given night, any team can beat any team. You know what I mean? So, and I like that about, you know, what's going on in the league right now.
So, like, that's a great point, man. But this is going on to our next topic, bro. This is a topic I had thought about in my head, and I was gonna hit you with that. I'm gonna wait till we get on the podcast to hit him with this, because I feel like this is something that we should start doing every week. And I call this segment Just Chill. And this is my shot. We gonna pick an analyst every week, and we gonna tell them to just chill. Because a lot of times, these guys get too caught in their job, bro. Your job is to call athletics. Not talk about these dudes' personal lives, not nitpick at different dumb topics.
That's what it's turning into.
Let's pay attention to the sports. We just did a whole podcast about good basketball, and we ain't said nothing about no rumors, nothing. We don't care. So, you analysts, we putting y'all on spotlight every week, telling you to just chill. And the first guy I'm gonna hit you with is Stephen A. Stephen A. You the father of this analyst game. I'm gonna give you that. Shout out to you. We salute you. But bro, you reaching. I'm with J.R. Smith on this, man. You reaching, bro, and you need to chill. Absolutely. That statement you made about that hoodie thing being on the bench, bro, listen.
When they played against Boston, J.R. Smith was sitting on that bench in the fourth quarter with a hoodie on. I don't know why the hell Nike made these damn uniforms that have hoods attached to it, by the way. You got a lot of those white folks in the audience that's going to think this is Trayvon Martin being revisited. And I'm not joking about it. The bench is no place for somebody to be wearing hoodies. I have no problem with hoodies. People shouldn't be stereotyped and stigmatized for wearing hoodies. I totally agree with the Miami Heat and Dwayne Wade and LeBron James and Chris Bosh and Ray Allen and all of those guys when they donned those hoodies back then after the shooting of Trayvon Martin by that wannabe cop, Mr. Zimmerman, who should have been convicted. But the bench for a basketball player sitting on a bench with his team, that is no place for a hoodie. I don't know why the hell Nike did that.
I don't know how old you are. I'm thinking you may be in your 40s, maybe. But dude, it's a fashion statement, man. We wear hoods, man. If you go to the Nike store right now, Nike has a whole Nike Tech thing that they've been doing for the last 3 years.
Love the Nike Tech too.
Love them. Thanks, Nike.
Yeah.
Keep bringing them out. Y'all killing it with the product. I mean, even though them jerseys was kind of cheesy, but y'all killing it with it. Stephen A, bro, it's a fashion, bro. People wear hoods. And it has nothing to do with Trayvon Martin. Rest in peace to Trayvon. And we know we know people are trying to be as conscious as they want in this time and age, but dude, relax.
I agree. You know, a little background, Stephen A on his radio show gave a quote. I'm paraphrasing right now, but it was something to the sense of the new Nike hoodie warm-ups that the NBA players are wearing. He singled out J.R. Smith, and he said him wearing the Nike hoodie during the games while he's on the bench, it will somehow correlated that to reminding white people of Trayvon Martin. JR got word of what Stephen A said. He tweeted back some responses, basically saying, one, nobody should forget Trayvon Martin. And two, out of all the 450 players in the NBA, why did he single him out? Because if you have been paying attention, one, the hoodies and warm-ups are very nice. I remember from opening night, I
boy sweet.
Need to buy some of these. Yeah, I love them.
Boy, sweet. I mean, Adidas had the same thing last year, except they had like a short cutoff. It was like it was like a t-shirt hood. You know, like these guys been wearing hoods, bro. Like,
but a lot of players have been, while they on the bench, you know, waiting, they've been wearing their hood. You got to think a lot of these courts are over hockey arenas too. Like, it's cold on that floor. You know what I mean? Like,
great point.
Stephen A is not putting that, you know, he's not thinking that much.
You just had a Milwaukee Bucks team that played in the old arena where they were complaining about drafts coming into this old building. Why do you think these dudes got hoodies on, bro?
They're cold.
They're cold, you know what I mean? Bro, it's still warm. Like,
right.
Yeah. Act like you've been an athlete before, bro.
Basically, yeah. Listen, I mean, JR responded to Stephen A. saying this. He does not see the correlation. Stephen A. tripping by making that comparison. Doesn't understand why he's singling him out. You know, just basically kind of, you know, letting Stephen A. know like he need to relax. And you know, he even told him his show been weeks since Skip left.
He's so petty for that.
Yeah. You know, I like JR and I agree with him. I think Stephen A. was reaching. You know, screaming A. Smith as I call him. You know, he liked to yell to the top of his lungs and say a bunch of big words, but the substance of what he's actually talking about is never really anything. So I agree. I think he was reaching way too far with this one, and yeah, like you said on this segment, he needs to just chill, just relax on that, man.
All right. So yeah, y'all beware, all you writers, reporters, analysts, whatever y'all want to call yourselves. We coming for y'all.
Yes, sir.
And we giving straight facts. All right?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, man, that's episode 8. We hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll be back probably earlier this week. I know we were a little delayed, you know, but Halloween, man, we have to do a lot of Halloween activities, man. You know,
absolutely.
You got to get in the spirit. So, tune in to us next week, and we keep bringing this to y'all, man.
Yes, sir. Subscribe and be on the lookout for our weekly
segment,
shits. You know.
Weekly shits.
We like that segment. You know, so just we gonna have those weekly updates coming at you. You know, and then subscribe, enjoy, and just ball out.
All right.